Now, have I got Tom and Anne here?
Yes.
Now, is it Greg or Grieg?
It's Greg.
Greg, thank you very much. The two of you are neighbours. Courts, when it comes to neighbour disputes, Greg, I hope you would agree with me, ought to be places of last resort. Now, this wasn't originally your house, Anne. No. This was your grandma and grandpa's house, your parents' house. Yes. They moved to this house in 1983. When did you buy the property that backs onto it, sir?
In 2004.
2004. And at first, you had absolutely no problems whatsoever with Anne's mother and father. In fact, the relationship you had with them was pretty cordial. In 2005, there was a metal fence and there were some various problems on your land. Now, even though it was a joint obligation to build a fence on that border, you took the financial responsibility to build that fence yourself as part of an agreement you had with Anne's father. Is that correct?
That's correct.
2005, your father passed away.
That's right, yes.
And it left your mum in this lovely but very big house alone. Now, between 2005 and 2011, did you, sir, have any issues in respect of that fence with Anne's mother?
No. No, the fence was particularly high because Anne's parents' property is elevated above mine, so we both could enjoy privacy. When we put it up, it was slightly larger and taller than normal.
Again, madam, between those two periods, 2005 and 2011, were there any complaints, as far as you remember, about that fence?
Yes. It was either towards the end of 2010, my late husband had a meeting with Greg and my mother to agree the boundary fence line, and it was signed and agreed.
Do you recall that, sir?
I don't.
In 2011, there was more sadness because your mother passed away.
That's right.
In 2014, so we're now 3 years on, there was little bits of rumblings, but nothing that made you take action, correct?
Yes.
Understood. It was more of a frustration about how he treated his property, but you weren't living there at the time, and so it didn't affect you personally.
We used to go down, say, twice a month, and in that time he was letting it out as a B&B with stag parties and hen parties. That
is the moment of frustration.
Yes, rubber dolls in the back garden.
Excuse me, madam? There's what in the back garden?
Blow-up rubber dolls.
What sort of rubber dolls?
Smiley ones. I honestly don't know. But you could see it from our kitchen window.
Not what you want in your garden?
No.
No, not unless you're terribly lonely, I would have thought. At some point, you decided to rent this rather beautiful property to people for parties and that sort of thing, correct?
It's never rented for parties, and the basis on which it's rented is always for large groups, but they mustn't do anything to disturb the neighbours.
Well, I can see you rolling your eyes and shrugging your shoulders, and I suspect that I would feel exactly the same if I was standing where you are, madam. The thought of somebody renting out their property and there being a loud party with blow-up dolls or sheep or anything else. I understand your frustration. Now, here's the thing. When you rent out to large groups, there is a chance that they are going to use your property for fun and parties, and that might disturb the neighbours, correct?
There is a possibility, that's correct, Your Honour, and we go to extreme lengths to make sure that never happens. And the local authority are very well organised in shutting down any properties which are misused.
But it's an irritation.
Oh, absolutely. If I was looking into other people's gardens and they were doing things that offended me, then I can understand that.
That's a very important acknowledgement there. Do you see, madam?
Yes.
For more Judge Rinder cases, click here. And if you've got a legal issue yourself, get in touch with us by clicking over here.